Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. How awesome do you feel this week?
Much better than last week.
Me too.
There was some bad mojo going on last week or something.
Yeah, and that's just part of life and where it is. So, oh well, we're human too, and everybody has their moments.
We do. And I do apologize for my less than enthusiastic words last week, but I'm better. I've got caffeine and everything. I'm ready to go.
That is important. I have had no caffeine today. 0. It's very odd.
What's wrong with you?
I just had lots of stuff going on, and then I got freedom, and and there were other things to focus on. The feeling of freedom, it is much like caffeinated at an office, so
I get that. However, there's only one thing that happens in my day before coffee, and it is just me going to the restroom to make room for my coffee.
I don't make coffee at home.
So weird.
I know.
I leave the house because there is coffee at home. Well, I guess maybe I would get out of the house a whole lot sooner if I didn't have coffee. No, I'm still making coffee.
Like the carrot on the string.
Yes.
Yes. You would be on time for work because you needed to get coffee.
Oh.
I don't know if you're late or anything.
Oh, I'm late all the time. It has absolutely nothing to do with the coffee. And even if I'm on time, I forget to clock in because somebody has distracted me. Like, oh, look.
I'm really trying hard to drink more water. I'm drinking a lot of water.
Well, just so you know, coffee is made with water. I checked with my urologist, and he told me it's tinted water. He counts it as long as I keep my fluid intake.
That is true, but I feel like it dries out my throat, especially like if I am going to record a meditation, I cannot drink coffee first.
Probably wouldn't be a good idea for me just because my mouth moves too fast. Yep. Yeah. Usually goes faster than my brain can process what I'm saying anyway.
No filter.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
So, I talked about shopping last week. And by the time our listeners hear this, Thanksgiving will be finished and shopping will be full on go. But it's so different this year. Most of the Black Friday stuff started already. And the good thing is like nobody is standing in line at Walmart ready to beat each other up over a TV, which is awesome.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I was never one of those people that was in that mix anyway. I did do some standing in line at toy stores back in the day, but still wasn't going to get in a fight for a Cabbage Patch or anything.
Right.
I may have just dated myself there.
I really appreciate that it's so much different. I think that it's going to be different going forward. I think that stores will understand that there's no need for all of that business the way it was, and they can do it differently and safer.
I understand the reasoning behind the Black Friday deals. You want to bring people into your store and you need some sort of doorbuster. And so it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I understand where that came from, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, there are a lot of people now doing more online shopping, which I am not a fan of. I like to look at, touch it, see what it is that I'm buying. But with what we've been doing, I've been looking at different things that online, different organizations that we can purchase from. And I found some things that I'm going to get. So in my research for our podcast, may have changed myself at least a little bit into an online shopper.
Well, look at you.
Still not giving the big ones my money, but yeah, I've definitely found some stuff that I'm interested in. There's at least 2 that I'm going to be making purchases from already.
What'd you find?
St. Jude. Everyone knows St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
They've been around since 1962. But I went onto their website just to see. Because, there's like Shriners Hospital. You donate, you get a blanket. And I was just looking at different charitable organizations and things. And so I got to St. Jude's gift shop. And there are like 165 pages worth of stuff.
I had no idea.
Me either. So it starts with $3 reusable totes, which is, pretty much what you're going to spend for those anyway. They've got Christmas ornaments for $10 to $14. There's some really cute pajamas for Christmas. It says, to all a good night. Well, for the holiday season, not necessarily Christmas. But at $40 for a pajama set doesn't seem unreasonable. They have a Vera Bradley bags.
No way.
Yeah. And it's got the little St. Jude logo on it. Then they even have, COVID masks for $12. I had no clue they had so much stuff. Just about any, home goods or home decor, I should say. Anything you could think of. They had, jewelry and all kinds of stuff. Of course, it was founded by Danny Thomas, the actor, in 1962. But I didn't know why. I just had assumed that, he had a sickness or something like that, or a sick kid. But actually, before he became well known, he was literally a starving actor and wasn't getting any work. So he had prayed to St. Jude, who is the patron saint of hopeless causes. And he had vowed that if he showed him the way in life, that he would build a shrine to St. Jude. And within a very short period of time after that, he started getting work and became well known. So he built the hospital, and it's in Memphis, Tennessee. So yeah, check out St. Jude. They have all kinds of stuff. And of course it helps the hospital.
Yeah. Those commercials are like, whoa, it's hard to watch, and it's so needed because so many families can't afford these expensive, extensive surgeries for these poor children with
absolutely.
Rare cancer or whatever is happening. And so what sparks in me is we need to pray to St. Jude for our podcast.
But the only thing is, I don't think we're hopeless. We might be hapless, but not hopeless.
Last week I kind of felt hopeless. I don't this week. But I do want a miracle that like this is just like, wow, Rose and Barbara are the shit. We need to listen every Monday morning. There's one person that listens, and I thought I knew that person, and it's not that person. So I don't know. Whoever is listening first thing Monday morning as soon as it's up, please let me know who that is.
We have something special for you.
So Danny Thomas is a cool dude.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That one blew me away. I literally spent half a day on their website. They had just that much stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, an Amazon with better outcomes. I don't know. So then I found a wildlife collection. They have bracelets. And what they do is, all right, this one I actually am getting for someone. I don't think she listens because I've not told her about it. But if anybody knows, my high school friend, do not tell her. So they had how I found it is they have these bracelets where you can track a sea turtle. You buy the bracelet and it gives you here, you've adopted a sea turtle kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And you can watch online where your turtle is or the turtle you're tracking. Yeah. Well, they have that for both elephants and turtles. And, but then they also have things where you can help orcas and sharks. So turtles, elephants, orcas, and sharks are the animals that they help. And they partner with these different organizations to give money. With the sea turtles in particular, it's 10% goes back to an organization that helps sea turtles. But as of today, I went back to double check stuff. There is now a discount code you can get. Buy 2, get 1 free.
Oh.
So I'd already planned on buying 2. Now I need to go back and figure out 3. So me being a procrastinator, not giving you this information last week could save you a little bit.
Awesome job.
Right. So glad. No, I mean, I waited. There we go. Sea Turtle Conservancy. That's where the 10% goes. I knew I had it here somewhere. I just can't read my handwriting sometimes. Then, shout out to our favorite leaf painter, Jen Lanzalotti.
Yay!
She now has her own Etsy store.
Yay!
I don't know exactly how Etsy works. It's Jen Lanzalotti. We'll find it and put the link on there for her. But yeah, super excited for her. More jewelry. There is Ted Poley, the singer of the 80s band Danger Danger, has a new jewelry line. It's bracelets, rings, and I think there's a necklace as well. They're two hands clasped as if you would be shaking someone's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So two hands clasped like that, and it's called Miss Your Touch. And, kind of thought it up during COVID since everybody's not able to embrace. And 10% of proceeds goes to Mission Hope, New Jersey, which provides resources for first responders. And it is one for the first responders and their families that are dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety, things like that, vicarious trauma. They have resources and education for them. They're based out of New Jersey.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. We love our first responders. I know I have some others and I'm losing it. Oh, another one that's got some, I don't know if you guys will hear this in time, but on Black Friday, there's going to be a 40% off at Pura Vida. Pura Vida is also bracelets. Evidently, I'm on a jewelry kick lately. Oh, Look Shiny is kind of my thing. They employ artists all over the world that make these bracelets. So one, they're employing people, in maybe some impoverished areas, but then they give money back to these different organizations. So they've helped 175 different charities since they started. They've distributed $2.8 million.
Wow.
With just some, what looked like friendship bracelets to start. So that's Pura Vida. So there's lots of places out there that are things that you can purchase, but also feel good about purchasing them because they're helping someone else.
That is the best feeling.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've definitely found a few. I did look into one of the kind of the biggies that I've heard of before, which is Bombas. They give socks and t-shirts for homeless my tongue is not working today. I'm so sorry. To combat homelessness. But basically you make a purchase through them and they give a like item to the homeless. Their socks start at $10 for women, $15 for men. T-shirts start at $36 and go up to about $68. So they're pretty pricey for what it is. So, but they're still helping people out.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling I'm not going to feel as good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to discourage anyone. If there's any way that you want to purchase something from a company that is going to help others, please do so. But I think there may be others out there that are a little better or a little I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I know that shelters say that socks are one of the most needed things.
Yes.
So if you don't want to buy Bombas and you just want to feel good, go buy socks and take them to a shelter.
Absolutely.
That does not satisfy your Christmas shopping or holiday shopping. I get that, but
while you are out at your local wherever, purchasing things you need, throw in a thing of socks while you're there.
Mm-hmm. So on TikTok, there is this whole group of people that find hidden clearance at Walmart. And there is a website called Brick Seek, like brick building and seek. So you're looking for sales in stores. And so probably about a month ago, when I first went down the TikTok rabbit hole, they said that there was a huge clearance on bras. And I'm like, hey, I can always use bras. Well, I couldn't find any of those, but there were socks out the yin yang. I'm talking 8 pairs of socks for $1.
Oh my God.
And I got all of them.
I was going to say, you did not hit
all
me to
of
this.
Them. No. So they went to a shelter.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah.
Very good.
So I have my sock drawer is really out of control. And that's probably what I'm going to be doing on Thanksgiving, because I tried to find like long socks because the seasons have now shifted.
Yes.
So trying to open the dresser drawer, I have a TV on my dresser, so I'm trying to like pry it open and the TV like falls forward. I'm like, okay, this is a problem now. It's overstuffed.
Why is Rose dead? Because she has too many socks. But she was crushed by a television because she had too many socks. Please don't make me have that conversation with the paramedic.
So I did not need the socks, but I know that many other people do. And previously, I had a group for coaching that had connections to a women's shelter. So, anytime that I can find stuff to give, I will
Absolutely
ship it on over there. They also really like shampoos and stuff like that. So whenever I'm at a thrift store and they have like these baggies of hotel soaps for 10 cents, I will get those as well.
Oh, okay.
And take them to a shelter.
You're ahead of the curve, Rose.
Yeah.
Being awesome.
Yeah. I've been very close to needing to live at a shelter before domestic issues. So I get that. I had a different resource to go to, thankfully, and I didn't need to go down that road, but it can be scary.
Absolutely.
And so I'm happy to help women out however they need helped out.
We'll help men too.
We will. They're usually pretty okay, though. Men have a hard time asking for help, even when they do need help.
Agreed.
Yeah, so it's a little harder.
Have we had any traction with the Bright Side Bonus Challenge?
No.
Well, that's no good.
I know. So we really need to focus on TikTok and do dumb shit on TikTok so that people can see it.
I do dumb shit all day long.
Yeah.
So we just need other people to see it.
If you could just put a GoPro around your neck. That's all we need.
The problem is then that you're only seeing what I see and not what I'm doing.
No, you put it around your neck so it's facing you.
But a lot of times it's not my face that's doing the funny stuff.
I think there's funny stuff happening in your brain. If it could just be words, that would be awesome.
We've already discussed that I talk in sound effects. It's not even always words.
Right.
Which is my newest one.
And what is that?
That's the sound of the hook being set in the catfish's mouth.
Oh.
That's the reel.
Okay, so did you get a hook?
Oh yeah, I've got 2 fish on the hook. I thought we would come to some major. I thought whatever they're after would come out this past weekend. We're close, but they have not given it to me. So do you want deets?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got 2 active fish. There's the British fish and there's a Hungarian fish.
Okay.
I don't remember if I've said, one of my things that I found out is these gentlemen are almost never born in the United States. Now, I've talked to both of these gentlemen as well. The British one does not have a British accent. The Hungarian one does not have a Hungarian accent. They both have a very similar accent, and it's not from that continent. But so at first I thought they might be the same person, and they're not. But so the British fish started out here in Cleveland when we were connected, supposedly. He's supposed to be moving here for business, but had to go back to Britain to get everything ready for the move. He has since signed a new contract, and as we speak, should be coming to Toronto for this other job. Prior to him leaving, though, he let me know that he listed me as his spouse on the papers and also as next of kin.
Oh.
I have never met this man. He has a daughter that supposedly lives in New York, so both of us are listed as his next of kin. So he boarded a flight around 6 p.m. our time yesterday, and I have not heard back from him yet. It has been 24 hours. My assumption is that my next communication will be from someone associated with him, and I need to send some sort of money or information because he's hurt or something like that. And as his next of kin, it isn't going to be my responsibility. That's what I fully anticipate, but it has not happened yet.
I see.
Oh, and but we have gotten in multiple fights, this fish and I, because I refuse to tell him I love him. And this seems to be a big deal. I'm starting to think that I'm definitely talking to two different individuals, but I think they're in the same organization. And there must be some sort of timeline because they've both had a COVID issue and they both have said, I love you within days of one another. So I think that there's a timeline or a, kind of script they need to follow.
COVID is really helping these guys out, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Because so now the Hungarian fish, he has also left the country since we started talking. I thought he was in Ohio, according to his profile. No, it turns out he actually lives in Tampa. He just happened to be here on business as well. Seems odd that you would list a city that you're only in for business as where you are. Sounds like you just want to hook up, but whatevs. So he also got a contract and had to leave very suddenly. And he is in Cyprus, which is an island off of the Turkish coast. And so he was there for a while, and he let me know over the weekend that where his daughter is staying, his daughter, of course, had to stay behind because she's a minor. The place that she is staying, the father there has tested positive, so now the family is in isolation. So at the same time that this is happening, he's also mugged. He's lost his laptop, his wallet, had to stop his credit cards. The only thing they didn't take was his cell phone. Seems a little fishy to me. But anywho, so he's still able to communicate with me. And at first, I immediately figured there would be a money request. There was not, and he tells me not to worry. He's fine. He doesn't want to worry my pretty little head. Things like that. Then over the course of the weekend, he tells me he's having trouble. He's trying to locate another Apple laptop like the one he has so that hopefully he can just log in and his stuff will be in the cloud and he can download his stuff and keep working. He's not able to find that laptop in Cyprus. I think what is going to end up happening, because he's already asked me if there's an Apple store near me, and he's told me he may need my help in locating this specific laptop. I don't know why he can't find it online. He's got his phone, but I'm guessing that since his daughter and the family she's staying with are in isolation, they will not be able to help him by going to a store or going to the bank. So I fully anticipate him asking me to purchase and ship a laptop. So I am currently waiting on both help me requests. So,
well, it's interesting because when you go into an Apple store, if they don't have what you need, they will order it for you. They have an endless supply of whatever you need.
Well, I don't know how shopping is on Cyprus. But he was telling me he was going in store after store. So I did not think to look to see if they have an Apple store on the island of Cyprus. I will have to do that. So that I could let him know where the Apple store is. I didn't even think of that one. But because of this whole I love you business with the British fish, it was a huge deal. Like, he was so angry that I would not say it. And we were on the phone and literally minutes upon minutes of silence because he wants me to say it and I won't say it. So I just won't say anything. So because of that, now I have that in my mind. I'm like, clearly I'm messing up whatever his plan is. And so now I'm talking to the other one because they're in other countries. They call me at odd hours. So this is what I do for you people. I have a phone date between midnight and 1:30 in the morning because that's when Cyprus is 7 hours ahead of us. So he gets up at 7 a.m., which is midnight our time. So last night I was talking to him, and I really was asleep when he called. And he's always referred to me as my love. But in the course of the conversation, he says, I love you, and it just came out. I said, I love you too.
Oh, no!
And it was more, and as soon as I did it, my eyes popped open. I'm like, oh shit, I'm awake now. But then I realized, well, wait a minute. I might have screwed it up with the other one by not saying it. So what the hell? So when we were getting off the phone, he says, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And yeah, so I can't say it to a real guy, but I can say it to a fake guy. But anyway, so yeah, I have moved it along. And he did ask me today if I'd be able to get to an Apple store. And of course, I told him that today's my long night, but maybe tomorrow. So
interesting.
So interesting. Ooh, but then
there's more?
just just briefly. So I got a notification on the my fishing site, and I started calling it my fishing hole. So I got a notification from the dating site that another guy liked me. And I always kind of watch who's coming down the pipeline to see who I think is a fish, so I know ahead of time whether I want to take them on or not. And of course, I messaged you, and you said, do it. So I said, all right, I connected with fish number 3. Ooh, the way that I knew he was the fish for me is in the body of the profile. It says, what should your date know about you? Or something like that. And it says, I have a slight Turkish accent. So he went to college in Finland, and he has a Turkish accent. That is the fish for me. Bring it. So we connected. We did not speak yet. Neither one. I will not message first. I make the message first. We had not done that yet when I got a message from the dating site that he had been flagged. So
darn it.
Yep. He got someone that doesn't play along as long as I do, and they must have flagged him immediately. So yeah, so that one was short-lived. He's already gone. I know.
Unfortunate.
Darn it. But that's all right. He was flagged. I'm sure he will be back as another. I just have to wait for him. And then I've got a notification someone likes me, but it won't be until tomorrow that they'll pop in as to who it is. So maybe it's his new alias. We'll see.
We'll see. What a busy life you lead.
I know. It'd be so much more exciting if these were real people.
So there was a Dr. Phil that was a multi-part thing, and this man believed that he was married to this woman that he never met, and she was inheriting $10 million, and the money was already spent in his mind. And the person who called in was his daughter that he hadn't spoken to. Well, they've spoken 7 years, but she's been estranged from him for 7 years. And this poor girl, she's 23, I think, but he is just making plans. This catfish had a daughter, and he made all kinds of comments in the texts about our child, and he wasn't there for his own daughter. And it was just really shitty and uncool. But they had the person, which turned out to be twin women, who were the profile pictures that were stolen. And he kind of berated her. I hope that you find God, because what you've done is horrible. He so did not get that her profile pictures were taken. He could not even fathom how that would work. And so I often don't understand, how do people fall into these catfish traps? He is so disconnected from reality. He shouldn't have a computer, first of all, I don't think. It was incredibly sad for the daughter, and she took it like a trooper. She just wanted to save her dad.
Right.
And Dr. Phil had to explain things to him like a kindergartner for him to really grasp what was happening.
Well, I can tell you, I knew of catfish, but I think all the stories you would hear from the television show were so kind of obvious that you're how do these people fall for it? Or you watch it in a 30 or 60-minute segment where they take months worth of, all of what's going on and condense it. So it looks a lot more obvious. I was surprised how slow these people are moving. I had a catfish before that was my Swedish fish. I miss him, by the way. So my Swedish fish, he was very sweet, but the money request came almost immediately after he left the country. I knew that I expected it once he left the country, and he did not disappoint. There was a disaster, and, I needed money. Several disasters and needed money. These guys, once they both left the country, because of course, number 2 and 3 also left the country, I was okay, I know the timeline, here's how it's going to happen. And it didn't. The way I figured if I told them I wanted to go slow, that would either anger them and they'd want to push it or whatever. But at least initially they were both like, okay, not a problem. We completely understand. And so have been very slow, almost like when they sense that I'm getting irritated, they back off. Of course, I know what they're doing. I just get irritated because sometimes they piss me off. But I can see how some people would fall into that. The British one, instead of saying things like, let's chat off the site, which is one of the things that they always want to do is get you off the site that you meet them on. And I assume that's so that it's not recorded on their site or whatever. But instead of saying, let's talk on another site, he says, I would love to hear your voice. I'm like, oh, that's tricky. Yeah. That's a good way to say it. He and I have actually Skyped. I saw the face of the man that I was talking to talking back to me. Not exactly sure that the mouth didn't match. And it was very brief. So I think that what he did is either they Skyped with a real man and got his video, or that maybe he has some sort of, training video out on the internet or something. But I think I think they put the voice of the fish I'm talking to spoke over a video of another man. That one, when I actually saw that man on Skype, I was like, holy crap. What if I got a real person and I'm the asshole in this situation? But then it was very quick. I tried to set up my own little hidden camera kind of thing to catch him on our next Skype conversation, and we have not Skyped again, even though we had planned on it. Oh, we talk quite often, but not another video call. So
maybe you can request that.
The only thing is, my eyes are rolling in my head during our entire conversation. And I mean, literally, I am just rolling my eyes. I'm making faces. I'm flicking off the phone because it's just ridiculous, some of the stuff. Yeah, especially the whole fight over, I would not say I love him. That was kind of ridiculous. He would definitely know that I didn't believe a word he was saying if he was looking at my face. So some days I have the right mindset for it. Other days I don't.
I get that.
Because one day I was on the phone with one of them and I pace around the house when I talk, and I walked in front of a mirror, which I have mirrors all over my house. And to have a conversation where you're being loving and happy and nurturing, you have to smile. You have to put yourself in that mood to be able to fake it. You can't fake being happy. You know what I mean? So I walked past a mirror and I kind of disgusted myself because I looked like, oh, honey, and knowing the whole time it was fake was like, if someone walked in the room, they would not know that I was having a fake conversation except for my eyeballs rolled up in my head. So it's put me in a weird kind of position when I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I can see now. I never got it. I can see now how people can get, at least initially, drawn in.
Especially if you're really, really lonely. His wife had died of cancer, and he didn't have it. Well, he had his daughter, but she went to go live with somebody else. But anyway, and there was another episode last week of this woman whose husband had died, and she was online dating, and she instantly got taken in by a catfish, and she just wanted somebody to say, I love you. And, she gave thousands and thousands of dollars to this man, and it was an incredibly sad story. But I think that people who are not internet savvy and who are lonely.
Well, there's scammers out there. And a lot of times they come in with a lie, but it's very immediate. They don't take time. It's, your grandchild is in an accident. We need these carbs. And it's, now, give them to me now. These guys are slow. They're methodical. They're very nice. Both of them have basically alluded to that we'll be together forever kind of things. The things that a lonely woman would want to hear. They both have daughters. They, are very nurturing in the way they talk about their daughters, which of course would make you think that they would be that way with you. So yeah, they're pretty good. I don't know how people, don't catch that the accents don't match, but.
So the 90-Day Fiancé lady, Yolanda, she made a lot of excuses for Williams and thinking, well, maybe his phone got stolen. Like all of his Instagram pictures were gone one day. And she's like, well, maybe somebody stole his phone and deleted them all. And the accent thing didn't match. Well, maybe he didn't grow up there. And she would never ask the questions to him directly, but she always had an excuse whenever her daughter challenged her about it, because she wanted to be fair. She wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. And I would really hate for people to lie about me or not trust me, was her kind of demeanor about it all. And she was lonely, and she wanted it to be true. So she was going to make it feel as true as possible.
I totally get that. Excuse me. Because even I always want to see the best in people. And I'm typically the kind of person that I just expect you to be a good human being until you show me that you're not. And so for me to go into this, of course, I am fairly certain they're fake before, we go into this. But there's been a couple times that I'm like, oh my God, what if I made a mistake? Now I'm the horrible person in this scenario. And luckily I have people like you to go, no. But at first it was, okay, watch for misspellings and punctuation. And then I have a brand new phone who doesn't know how I type or talk. And I've sent the most ridiculous stuff that autocorrect has sent out. And I'm like, great, I look like I'm a foreigner because I send out stuff. And I'm constantly sending, oops. And then I got to the point where I don't even care. The wrong there went out. Forget it. I don't care. So I can't look at that anymore. I'm trying to think of other examples. So one of them, the Hungarian one, it's really hard to hear him. And so I literally catch bits and pieces, but I figure it doesn't matter that much. We're only going to talk for a month maybe. But the other day, it was worse than usual. And I told him, I said, I'm having such a hard time hearing you. And he tells me he's on a headset. So he takes off his headphones. And oh my God, I can hear the man for the first time. It's still the wrong accent. But now I could finally hear him where I couldn't before. So yeah, there's little things where even I doubt my own intuition when something comes up. Well, maybe, and no, there's too much other evidence. Oh, I requested a picture. This was, I thought was going to catch one of them. I told him I was going out to dinner with my brother. I do not have a brother, by the way. That is a setup for something else. I'm anticipating the money request, so I put a brother in place to be my, to say no. But anyway, he wants a picture. And so I said no. My brother got mad. I can't send you a picture. But anyway, before that, I said, I'll send you a picture of me and my brother. You send me a picture of you and your daughter. I thought that was going to be a done thing. Well, don't you know, I got a picture of that man and a teenage-ish daughter looking like she did not want her picture taken. So I'm like, oh crap. Like I thought this was a good one. I kind of doubted myself then again for a minute, but luckily then he was on his way to Cyprus. And like I said, he's now been mugged. And so, but I can definitely see how people get sucked in. So I'm doing my research and maybe I can help.
I hope so.
So if any of you are talking to a man or a woman that you think may be fake, give me a shout. I'll see if they might meet any of my criteria. I have spoken to a gentleman. I may have a dual presence on the site. I'm talking to a man and asking him if I can use his likeness to try to catch female fish. I have not heard back from I told him he had to check with his girlfriend first because he said yes. And I said, check with your girlfriend before your pictures end up somewhere and you get in trouble. And now I haven't talked to him in a week. He hasn't even come in for an update on my fish. In talking with a gentleman friend of mine, when I told him what I was doing, he had told me he had been catfished. And I'm thinking it has to be way easier for men or for the women to catfish men Because it's just natural for women to be, or natural for men to want to protect women, take care of women, shower them with gifts and things. So that's why I think I want to come at it from that standpoint. Because I have a feeling I need a Amazon card, I need a Western Union money request would come way faster, is my thought. Because I feel it's odd for men to ask women to give them things, where women, I guess it's easier for women to insinuate they need something and it show up.
Because some men want to be the knight in shining armor and just fix it. Ta-da!
Right.
Let me help you with that. Let me get that for you. And
I am the type of female that's how I am too. For my family, my friends, my loved ones. If I know they need something or something would make it better, I would rather let me help them. So, women come from the helper standpoint as well. So I think that's what they want, is for me to offer to help. I'm just not offering anything, but my love and supports, not financial. I think I want to come at it from the other standpoint. But this is not what I started out to do. I really went on this dating site to find, companionship or true love or whatever, and it has turned into something way twisted. And honestly, now I will not accept a match unless I think they're fake. Which is it's kind of fucked up. I don't have time for you real people. I got fish to catch. So, all right, teaser, because I don't know where this is going. This just happened yesterday. I was matched with someone that I don't ever remember clicking on his profile, to like him. So I don't know how we got matched, but we're connected now. And so I went to my go-to question, or what is now my go-to question. I said, how long have you been in Ohio? And he says, my whole life. Oh, crap.
And he's wearing a Buckeye hat in one picture, a Buckeye shirt, and at the shoe in one picture.
Well, they can steal an OSU guy's, profile or pictures. It said he went to Ohio State. A lot of the ones that I get went to school abroad. But yeah, and I asked him what side of town. He gave me a specific neighborhood. Not that you can't Google neighborhoods, to find out. But so I'm like, oh, crap, I might actually have a real person. Because he's even said, let's get together already.
Yeah. Now what do you do? Shit.
I don't know. I don't know. But he did. So he's already set me up for something, though. I'm either going to have to come clean or lie. But he says that he only talks to one person at a time, and I am currently it. Well, he didn't ask a question. He just made a statement, so I didn't have to disclose anything as of yet. But I'm talking to multiple people. They're just not real people.
Maybe you go have coffee and he can tell you, I'm sure that he's been catfished or attempted to before. Maybe it could be a whole conversation.
Maybe. Now we're still assuming that he's real, but yeah, when he said I've been in Ohio my entire life, I was dumbfounded. I had no idea what to do. For real. I got scared. I might have found a real human. So more on that.
I can't wait to hear.
So we were communicating earlier and then he abruptly stopped. I didn't do anything to make it happen, so I don't know. But there's already been some weird comments that I'm like, is that a catfish comment or is that just I'm a dude and say random stuff kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's very difficult for me to communicate with men, for sure.
I don't have any trouble with the fake ones.
Yeah, I think I am currently in process of talking to one, and he's like, what have you been doing during the pandemic? And I said, I've been taking classes. And he's like, for what? And so I said, I took an advanced hypnotherapy class. And I am doing a meditation sort of expanded awareness thing. And he's like, what is that? And he tried to guess is it like homeopathy? And I'm like, no, I'm not a doctor. And he's like, are you psychic? And I said, no, I'm not psychic. And he goes, so your awareness of people is like, hey, that's a human? And I'm like, no. So I kind of broke it down for him, and I know that my words are sort of woo-woo, so I tried to make it like really simple. And I said, so that feeling that you get if somebody's looking at you, or the feeling that you get when you're suddenly scared and the hair stands up on your arms and you don't know why, is it because your eyes picked up on something that your brain hasn't figured out that is a sign of danger? Maybe it's something in your childhood that you've connected in your brain weird, or maybe it's preemptive to something that is about to happen. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. And then there was like no other conversation. Like, he is done with this batshit crazy chick. So I think that maybe I'm a little too much for somebody. And I don't want to be with somebody who can't handle my strangeness or has thoughts about, I don't know what the fuck she does. It's crazy. And we just have sex. Like, that's not it for me either. Like, where do the woo-woo guys hang out? Please tell me.
Well, you know woo-woo guys. You just need to ask your woo-woo guys, like, if they have single friends.
They don't. And most of the woo-woo guys that I know are gay.
What about that one guy that likes to give hugs?
Frank?
I don't know.
I
don't know. He gave me a hug the day I met him.
Yeah, I know everybody that Frank knows, and
okay. Okay, so there's Christian Mingle, there's Farmers Only. We can start a dating site.
Well,
woo for you. Trademark.
Michael Beckwith, who is a woo-woo minister, has a dating site, and I signed up for it. But when I signed up for that one, there was nobody in Ohio. So,
All right. So we need a partnership with Mr. Beckwith, so we can woo-woo in the OH. Woo-woo! We could have used that for the whole crazy train thing.
Oh, we could have.
Instead of choo-choo. We could have done woo-woo. The whole train car would have looked at us like we were nuts.
We are.
I've gotten to the point in my life where if people don't look at me like that, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with them? Don't they know I was doing something stupid?
I so wanted to do TikToks on the train, and that man would not shut the hell up.
I know. May God love him, but he was telling us about the area as we went down the tracks.
Redundantly.
Yes. I was a little surprised we were in a completely full train car.
Yeah.
So, the people around us, I think, would have had a problem with my shenanigans.
Maybe.
Although the lady in the wheelchair's whole family didn't have their masks on, so I could have done some weird dance over there by then.
I think the adventures are shut down for a little bit. I think that everything is kind of slowing down here in Ohio. We're at level purple, which is not go anywhere unless you absolutely have to, apparently. But I don't know. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and it seemed like everybody was there. It didn't seem like anything was slowing down whatsoever. But
there we are going into Thanksgiving week. Everybody's got to get their groceries.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Thanksgiving, we are going to have a smaller Thanksgiving than normal. My daughter and her significant other are going to stay at home and do their own little thing. We have yet to decide where her daughter's going to be, if her daughter's going to be with me or with them. But so we're going to have a smaller group. So I think it's just going to be my folks, my son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter. So a whopping 5.5 of us. And my son and his family go to her family's for their true Thanksgiving dinner. So typically they come over. I have mine earlier in the day. They come over, make an appearance. nibble on a couple things, just like a lunch, and then they go and have their true Thanksgiving dinner elsewhere. So they don't eat, like they don't gorge themselves for hours, like, in like a normal Thanksgiving. So as I was going through my pantry over the weekend, making my grocery list, what do I need before Thanksgiving, I realized that we don't have enough people to warrant all the different foods that we make at Thanksgiving. And I'm trying to figure out what to cut out.
Oh.
And my mom says, well, I was thinking, well, maybe we just cut out mashed potatoes. And my mom says, well, we can just have turkey and mashed potatoes. We can't cut out mashed potatoes because of my son. And I'm like, okay, fine. She goes, we can pass on the yams. I've got 3 pounds of sweet potatoes at my house already. I already purchased them. So that's not, might as well cook them. We got them. So now I'm trying to decide. I think stuffing's going to go. So I don't think we're going to have any stuffing. I may get rid of corn souffle.
Oh, so good.
I know. But sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, corn souffle, like that's a whole lot of carbs.
Yams are on my grocery list that I do need to purchase. So if you want to cut them out, I will take your yams.
Possibly. Let me figure out what we're doing. But then I don't think I have cranberry sauce. And I'm like, I have to have cranberry sauce. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. It's my absolute favorite because I get to eat all of the foods, all the weird foods you don't eat every other time of the year. And it's one of the few times you have enough people to warrant all those foods. So yeah, I'm going to have basically three food items per person. So yeah. I'm stressing myself trying to figure out what not to do.
What a dilemma.
I know. But then the things that I'm cutting out just seem to appear. Like I was given like 12 of hard-boiled eggs. Already hard-boiled. Well, I didn't plan on making deviled eggs, but now I got all these hard-boiled eggs I got to do something with. I think I'm going to give those to my mom. Then, with the sweet potatoes. Should we cut out sweet potatoes? Well, I already have the sweet potatoes. And it's just it is a weird dilemma to be in. Hate to complain about too much, but I love all those things.
Yeah, it is so good.
But on a related note, I was watching something this morning about turkeys, and that the farmers that produce the turkeys, because of the pandemic, people want like 10-pound turkeys. And they have this abundance of these big birds now. Nobody wants the 18-pounders. They're not everybody, but so they're getting stuck with these birds, and their margins are already really tight as it is. Now, I would normally get the same size bird regardless of how many people I'm, because I'll just eat turkey all the time and I'll freeze it and I don't care. I like turkey. But now you have to worry about the poor turkey farmers. So
yeah, it is definitely some strange times.
Yeah. So I will end up getting another turkey. I have one already. I will go ahead and get another one. I plugged in an extra refrigerator in my basement.
Ah, there you go.
So part of this was for some pandemic planning. I am not one of those people that is all freaked out by all of this. But you know what? Just in case, let's plan ahead. And also with the holidays coming up, I can use the extra fridge. You always need room for, fudge or my chocolates or whatever. So I figured, what the heck, I'll just clean it and plug it in, even if it's just for a couple months. So I think I'll probably get another turkey to have. And normally I get a smaller one. Now I'm like, I think I'm going to get a big, huge one, like maybe the biggest one I can find. Maybe I should contact a farmer directly.
Yeah, that would probably be awesome.
But, that would be the fresh one. But yeah, so buy a bigger bird than you need. By the time you hear this, you will have already eaten your birds. Buy one for Christmas.
There will be extras left in the store still.
Maybe.
Yeah. And probably at really good prices.
Hopefully. But I've noticed, though, like last year, I was going to go back and get another turkey afterwards, and there were no sales that I could find after Thanksgiving on turkey.
How interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if
it's not like Halloween candy.
Do you know I was really proud of myself? It took me, I think it was like 18 days after Halloween is when I finished the bag of Halloween candy I had.
Sweet.
I know. Not that I didn't eat lots of other junk in between. I was like, sweet. It was good candy too.
Nice.
But I'm glad that you can eat gluten now because...
I know. I think I am going to actually make a loaf of bread. I'm going to actually bake on Thanksgiving.
That would be fun.
I haven't baked bread or cookies or anything in years.
Well, we're doing it this year.
Yeah.
Got a fridge to put it in. But yeah, so one of the things that I'm doing, I already do stuff with pretzels, but I'm adding another thing to the list this year that I'm doing with pretzels. So more stuff for us to live along.
Sweet.
I ate luckily before we came to record today, or this conversation would have my stomach growling. Like it normally is when we're recording.
So let's find the bright sides in all of these things. St. Jude's is pretty awesome, and so is Danny Thomas.
Just in looking, I saw how many companies there are out there, if you look, that either do the right thing or help their communities. You know, some of these are kind of expensive, but other ones, you know, it doesn't cost any more to give. You know, if you're going to be spending this money on a gift, if it can help someone else, why the heck not? So,
I agree.
And it was, like I said, I was a little shocked when I started looking. There are more, you know, we'll put some more things together. But I was shocked at how many companies there are out there when you just start looking.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, I guess maybe I didn't pay attention before, but I think companies really understand the benefit of paying it forward now. And I don't think that they do it to get sales specifically. I think they do it because it's the right thing to do and they just share. And I have a feeling like, I think some celebrities may not give full disclosure of what they're giving to. And sometimes you find out like years later. I think Keanu Reeves gives like endlessly to a lot of things, and people don't know that because he doesn't need to like gloat about it and say, what an awesome person I am because I give this money. But also to have transparency like these companies to say, you know, this is what we do and this is what we're about. And we want people who are about that same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's good in that too, to inspire people to give.
Or to make a difference. Some of these, you know, are about awareness of different issues, social or global or whatever. Excuse me, environmental. Making people aware of things is a good thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the sea turtle thing. I have somebody that I would give the elephant thing to.
Well, maybe we should talk. We'll see. Because like I said, now it's buy two, get one free.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I had 2 that I was looking at. Now I need to go back and look whether they're 3 or not. Because I don't have maybe I'll just give gifts to more people that I give normally.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a thing.
Maybe
I should sign up for all of those Secret Santas that I've poo-pooed. There's a bunch of groups doing Secret Santas, but I decided, we talked about that last week. I don't want to do it. Maybe I will, because I'll have an abundance of stuff I found.
And you have a whole gift closet still.
Those are pretty specific, though.
So Barbara catches catfish to protect humanity. That's a pretty bright side.
I don't know that I've protected anyone yet, but I'm building my wealth of knowledge as to how they work. And, you know, maybe we can educate people. I can't get those damn bottom feeders off the internet myself. Educate people on how to avoid them.
So if you are giving this year, I hope that you might want to give in a different way. What we have been doing is leaving envelopes of $10 around and putting it on TikTok as the Bright Side Bonus Challenge. If somebody, for the love of all that's holy, will please pick up on this and do it also, that would be really awesome. Just to get awareness. Like the goal was to spread some love forward and to make other people want to give. And our video about it is not being seen by anyone. So if other people catch on to that hashtag, then more people will see the hashtag and get it and go, oh, hey, I want to do this, or I want to give socks, or I want to, like, whatever. It doesn't have to be money. It could be anything. So however people can pay it forward. And there's a lot of people that need assistance right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So please, if you feel kind and have something to give, if you don't stress it.
Well, last thing we want to do is stress people out.
Yeah. So if you want to contact us, hello at brightsideofcrazy.com.
Barbara at brightsideofcrazy.com.
Or if you want woo-woo stuff, Rose at brightsideofcrazy.com. And we'll talk to you next week.
Have a great one.
Bye.